Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best bets for tomorrow's race in action. Before we get stuck into those, quickly we'll just do the recap on how today's tips ran. Unfortunately, it wasn't our finest hour today and we had quite a few disappointments. So I'll start off with our nap, which ran in the 2:25 at Hamilton. That was Funny Man for Danny Tudhope and David O'Meara. Unfortunately, he was doing all his best work right at the death and he stayed on really strongly, suggesting that he probably wants slightly further up in trip. The race today was either a mile and 5 furlongs. Probably ideally might want to have a crack at 2, you know, because he was plugging on quite nicely in the last furlong, but yeah, it was all too much, and the leaders already had a first run on him, and therefore just got into better positions than him. But be interesting to see if the handicapper does drop him maybe a pound or 2. But if he does run over maybe a mile and 6, 2 miles, I might back him again. But yeah, that was a bit of a frustrating one, the one that got away from us, I think, today. In the 2:35 at Lingfield, that was our long shot Petoxide for John Bridger and Josie Gordon. Nothing to complain about, really. I thought Josie gave him every chance, got out to the front early. It's normally the way he likes to rock and roll, but it was a classic Lingfield finish where you just got the closers flying down the outside in the last furlong, and in the end he finished back in the midfield. But when they did swing into the home turn, I thought he might just be able to nick a place, because he did kick a couple of lengths clear, but it was just a typical Lingfield finish, and he was 20 to 1 shot, you know, when we advertised him last night, so it's not like he was banging there with a chance. But I thought, to be fair, he did have a chance though, but yeah, he just probably couldn't handle it today, and I think he will have a race in him if he does continue to slide down the ratings. But yeah, it was just one of those races today where the horse gave his best shot, but it just wasn't to be. And then Elise as well at Banger on D, yeah, he just didn't really go along with it. He kind of lacked the conviction. I thought his jumping at some of his hurdles was a little bit scruffy, and again, he's probably a horse that he might have his day again over hurdles soon, but I probably wouldn't want to back him in future. It was just one of those days where, yeah, nothing really went our way, and it's the way it goes sometimes. It wasn't our finest hour yesterday either. We only had Mahatha that won for us, and we had a few other disappointments, but last week we did have a couple of good days. So all in all, we are still up in July. It's been a bit of an up and down month. We seem to go through a period of a few bad days and then a few good days. It's pretty much the name of the game in racing. It's always the way it goes, but the main thing is we're having a bit of fun. We're still up and we're doing all right, but hopefully we can start off the week with a flyer and get some winners on the board. And I'll go through our selections for tomorrow. Just the 3 tips. I didn't really fancy that many horses, to be honest with you. I thought there was a lot of competitive racing where you could make a case for a lot, but here are 3 of my best selections, which are just going to be a nap, an next best, and as well a long shot. And we'll start off with the first tip, which runs in the 1:15 at Ayr. Now I'm going to be going with my nap here with a horse called Highly Dancer for Daniel Tudhope and David O'Meara. Hopefully they can do us a favour tomorrow. Currently you can get this horse at 7 to 4 at the time of recording with the majority bookmakers. Now this horse finished second at Redcar on debut on what I thought was actually quite a nice effort. And was quite well fancied in the betting on the day, was 4 to 1, so connections were obviously thinking that this horse would have a good run. And I was just looking at this race setting up tomorrow, seeing what could be the potential dangers, and there are a few horses in here that maybe have more experience than Highly Dancer, but some of them are going to be trying 7 furlongs for the first time, and they've been running over 5 and 6 furlongs, and if you look at the pedigrees, I just think maybe they've shown a bit too much speed, and I don't know if they're ready really to step up and trip. And a lot of their pedigrees, like I suggest, might not hint that they want the 7 furlongs, whereas Highly Dancer, being by Helmet, you know, who stayed a mile, has got the pedigree for this kind of distance. And the form of that Redcar race has worked out all right, because the winning horse of Michael Dodd's, Magisterium, I think that's how you pronounce it, went on to win at Newcastle at the weekend, so the form's taken a boost. And Highly Dancer as well, she picked up quite nicely, suggesting that she'll be a bit more streetwise, I think, tomorrow. And at 7-4, I think that looks a good price, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if this horse nearly went as short as even money come post time tomorrow. So I think there's a lot to like about the chances of Highly Dancer tomorrow, and that's why it's going to be my nap. We then go with my next best, which runs in the 4:10 at Windsor, where I'm going to take a chance here with Involved for Ryan Moore and George Boughey. He's had an excellent start to his training career, and the yard have been in good form since lockdown, or racing resumed after lockdown. 2 winners from his last 5 runners in the past fortnight, so he's operating at a 40% strike rate, and this horse has been doing quite well for him. Finished second at Newmarket behind Andrew Bolding's Incline on his seasonal reappearance. He then went to Newbury, where he was very well fancied, and I thought he was a lot more professional that day. He was quite keen first time out, but he settled a lot better, and I liked the way he won. Now, he is going to pretty much be carrying near top weight tomorrow, but I think he's still got a bit of improvement to come, and he's still off a fair mark, and I think he can take another leap forward. This race I thought lacked a bit of depth to it, and I thought Involved had solid credentials tomorrow. It's interesting as well that he's booked Ryan Moore, but I think currently 9-4, that's quite a good price, and I think again come post time this horse will be a lot shorter, so that's why he's going to be my next best. We then go to Ireland across the Irish Sea for my Longshot, and we have to wait for the final race at Killarney there tomorrow in the 8:55, where my Longshot is going to be Happy Company for Shane Foley and PJ Hassett. Now, this horse is currently 25-1, which I thought was a massive price. Going to recommend each way. Now, this horse sometimes takes a few runs to get his act together. He's had 2 runs since lockdown has meant that the lockdown has ended in Ireland and racing has resumed. He's had 2 runs, which came at Roscommon when he finished 9th on the flat, and then he went to Kilbeggan when he finished in 6th place over jumps. He's a dual purpose horse. He's been mixing it up over both codes. But yeah, for me, I thought Happy Company had a chance off the mark of 55 now. If you actually go back through a lot of his form through last season and the year before, a mark of 55 makes him quite well handicapped in this sphere. It's not a strong race at all. And if you go back, like I said, for his form, 2 years ago he was winning a race at Sligo off a mark of 61, and he was rated a lot higher than that last season, but he was still maintaining his form. He was running and placing off marks in the high 60s, and I think he's got a good chance in this race tomorrow. Like I said, there's a lot of horses in here that have got question marks over the trip. A lot of them are stepping up, and looking at their pedigrees, they might not want the extra distance, but this horse, we know he can prove it. We know he's got stamina from his jumps discipline, and I thought it was a bit more like it last time at Kilbeggan, even though yes, he was well behind the leader. I just thought it was a bit more like it, and it'll definitely be kind of coming to the fore now, where he will be at a peak of fitness. Really, he probably takes a couple of runs, and I thought Shane Foley as well was an interesting jockey booking. He's riding very well at the moment, having plenty of winners for the likes of Jessica Harrington, and he probably wants to have maybe a go at the Irish champion jockey title. You know, he's going to have to take on the likes of Colin Keane, Wayne Lord, and all those kind of guys, you know. But there's no reason why Shane Foley couldn't give it a good go. And this horse, I think, has got a chance tomorrow. And it just looks like he's been booked because they expect a good ride. I just thought there was a lot of things that added to this horse's chances tomorrow. The fact that he's well handicapped, he's got an informed jockey aboard. He's had a couple of runs now. He should be coming to the form, coming to the boil through his recent form of those couple of runs under his belt, and it's often taken him a few runs to get into top gear. So I think there's a lot in his favour tomorrow, and 25-1, that is a massive price. The biggest price that was with was Paddy Power, the 25-1, and there were some firms that were slightly shorter. So if you can still get the 25-1, I think that's a cracking each way bet, and I won't be at all surprised if he could make the frame. So they're the 3 best bets for tomorrow. Just quickly recap. recap, in the 115 at Ayr, we go with Highly Dancer, 7-4 win. We then go to the 410 at Windsor with my next best, which is involved 9-4 win only. And then in the 855 at Killarney, taking a chance with Happy Company at 25-1 each way as my long shot tip. So they're the 3 best bets for tomorrow's racing. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe here to my YouTube channel for more videos. You can also follow me on Twitter as well, where my handle is @LuckyLoader15, and you can also check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk, for a full portfolio of my work. So that's all I got to say on that. Please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.